Chimaev, I would love to fight in Abu Dhabi. I would love to fight for the middleweight belt. There has never been anybody in UFC history to win 7 fights in a row and not fight for the belt, end quote. Now, first off, that is not factually correct. Don't think you need to correct it. None of that is the point. The point is we now have Chimaev, one of the great media darlings in the history of this sport, who's speaking up and starting to stick up for himself. And being willing to go along to get along was his attitude for a long time. And by the way, he still has it. Don't misunderstand this. Like, if they call him to fight somebody else, he's going to say yes. But in fairness, and so many things in life, if you go along to get along, the other side will understand that that is now the terms, that is now the deals. At some point, if you want them to look at you differently, you have to do something differently. You sometimes have to tell people you're going to respect me. And they'll look and they'll go, you're right. But every now and then, that conversation has to happen. It just began. Now, this is not Chimaev putting his foot down, but damn, it's close. It's as close as he's come. And he said, I want to retell you this quote. And I know don't tell me you got to tell me about Damian Maia and Matt Brown. I got it. Nobody has ever won 7 fights in a row and not fought for the belt. Here's my question to you. Does that carry over divisions? Because his numbers hold up. I mean, I know I just brought Damian Maia, but what I'm saying for you is he is right that nobody's ever fought in 9 in a row and not fought for a belt. Right? Like, there is a number there, even if he hasn't quite literally hit it. Like, there is a number. I'm asking you guys, does it carry over with divisions? And I say, hell yes, it does. I say absolutely it does. And this is one of the biggest parts of the Chimaev story that didn't get told. And the marketing and the PR, like everybody in those departments is exchanging high fives and getting such pats on the back because Chimaev, they came in red hot. I mean, Dana had to look around to his own team. He's got this guy with a beard, and his name's hard to pronounce, but it's something like Chimaev, and he calls himself Khabib 2.0. Like, I don't really know a bunch about this guy, and I'm paying a bottom guy money because he's 24 and he's brand new. And oh, by the way, he's getting main event level headlines. Like, Dana had to literally look to his own team and go, hey guys, great job. But while they were having this great job and while they were having this celebratory moment, I felt even back then that they weren't hammering something enough. And it's to the point I'm not positive you guys are going to know what I'm going to say. Chimaev fought in Fight Island, and 1 week later, he fought in Fight Island. He stopped the first guy, giving up 1 punch. He was actually hit. There was a fist that touched Chimaev. 1 punch on his way to a first-round stoppage. In the next fight, no punches on the way to a first-round stoppage. You know that story. Of course you know that story. You were there for it. It was amazing. He was Khabib 2.0. Everything was awesome. You're missing possibly the biggest part that would then carry over to what we're talking about now, which is the wins in both divisions count. The first fight was at 185. The second fight was at 170. That's the story. You're not going to have a lot of guys with the courage or the balls to step in and do something like that. You're not going to have a lot of guys that have the wherewithal to pay attention to what's going on in the company and go and knock on Sean Shelby's door real fast. They go, hey, I'm Reed, you're looking for a guy. I'm the guy. Like, you're not going to have very many guys like that, but you're going to have maybe no guys. Maybe none of them. As willing as Cowboy was, I don't think he could have fought at 170. Cowboy go 55 to 70. I don't know that he could have fought at 70 and then gotten the weight down by the following Friday. I don't know that he could have. I put myself in a category. I was a very willing guy. I was known for that. I couldn't have gone 205 and then gotten down to 85. That was the real part of the story. When people are talking about what weight should Chimaev go? Well, he sure is big. I think he's going to have a hard time getting to this. Like, no, he's not. You've got everything wrong. I don't know what he weighs. I don't know how much weight he cuts. I don't know what that looks like or if he's got a nutritionist. I don't know. But I do know He can't be that big. He can't. He can't have gone 185. He didn't know the second he gets out of that ring on Saturday night that he's going to be on the scale the next Friday and in the ring the next Saturday. He didn't know that. So now you've got your celebratory meal. Hey, you can go pack on 5-6 pounds in that meal, particularly with the guys that are pouring alcohol. He's not. I'm proving a point. So then you get up Sunday. Hey, that party keeps going. You've turned your metabolism on. You got a great room service that's willing to bring you chicken and waffles right here to your room. You keeping that going. Monday, some kind of a rumor hits. It's not until Wednesday that we get the announcement that it's going to be Chimaev. Guys, he went down a weight for the second fight. That is the entire story. That has never happened before. We just saw a gentleman, and God bless him, and he went out and he got 2 fights in 2 weeks, right? He got to fight at 302 there, and then he got a fight over this weekend in Denver. What a stud and what a great job. And I love and I cherish those stories. There is one anomaly. Nobody, my own teammate, Chris Lieben, made almost $400,000 in a month. He knocked somebody out. He got a short bonus fight. I want to say that was against Aaron Simpson. Anyway, he steps back in. He gets another knockout, bonuses on top of all of me. He got his win, his show, his bonus, his win, his show, his bonus, and whatever Dana did take care of it. It was like the coolest moment. It was an absolute life-changing moment just because he was ready to go in, but they were both at 185. I'm just offering you examples. You can play this game as much as you want. You're not going to trump me here. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to tell me somebody that did this that way. That is the story. So, of course, we're going to include them. And yes, Chimaev's math, don't come out and correct him. Because one thing that he could have said to make his statement right is he could have just added to it. Nobody has gone 7-0 in the UFC in their first 7 fights and not gotten a title shot. That he could do. He could change that number way down, as a matter of fact. While you guys are thinking about the Damian Mayas and the Matt Brown, while you're thinking about Blahal Muhammad and Leon Edwards and how great you are at this trivia, the one thing that you're forgetting is they didn't do it straight. And if you wanted to go straight, and who got to the title fastest, you're going to have guys like Brock Lesnar that did one. By the way, that was one win, 1-1 when he went into a world title fight, which he won. You're going to have guys like BJ Penn that debuted in the UFC. You're going to have guys like Cain Velasquez where nobody would fight them and they had to go right to the UFC. You think Cain had to win 7 fights? See, it's a very different stat when it's your entire time in the UFC. It's very different. It's not getting the feeling, shaking off some of the cobwebs, maturing and growing as an athlete, and then starting your run. You're coming in as cold as anybody else. You're coming in as scared and nervous as anybody else. He was a little boy, 24 years old. Right? If you're not 24, then you think that's old. That's a full grown. Hey, if you're 27, 28, 29, you know it's not. He's walking out there, doesn't have much of a team, doesn't have much of a support. There's nothing expected of him. He does it twice in a row, but he started at 85. The next one was at welterweight. So Chimaev does have an accurate stat if he adds to it. Nobody has won 7 in a row and not gotten a UFC title shot, period. False statement. Nobody has won their first 7 in a row and never gotten a UFC title shot. That would be a true statement. And not only would it be true at 7, you could back that down to 6. As a matter of fact, you could back that statement down to 5. So he's not only got that category locked, he's got it locked plus 32%.